So today we are going to be using this box colour 1021. I know a lot of hairdressers don't like using box colours, but sometimes it's a nice colour. So this is your before, and then we're going to get going just applying the 1021. I've mixed the colour following the manufacturer's instructions, but what I've done is I've poured out some, not all of it, poured out some into a bowl, and I'm going to use a brush to apply just so that I can get good coverage, and I just know that it's all perfectly done. So we are going to start off with the hot cross bun, sectioning and making sure that you apply either side of the partings that you do. It's a lot harder applying to shorter hair, I think, than it is longer hair when doing the roots, because you haven't got much hair to kind of lift up and manoeuvre. So I know this client has got a lot of grey around the front, but her hair actually is harder to lift at the back compared to the front area. So I'm just doing the top section of the hot cross bun. Then I'll do the back section of the hot cross bun. But when it actually comes to applying to the sections, I'm going to apply doing the back two sections first, and then do the front two sections. That's my personal preference on this particular client. Every client might vary. Sometimes you do the back first, sometimes you do the front first. It's entirely up to you. As long as it's all done, it doesn't really matter. It's a bit like painting a wall. I don't really care how you paint it as long as it all gets painted. So you can see the darker colour and the blonde at the end. So I'm only applying the tint to the roots. So the blonde at the end was a previous bleach colour that we applied, and there is a video on that. And I don't want to apply this box colour over the bleach straight away, purely because it doesn't need to lighten, it just needs to tone. So the roots actually need to lighten. They need to lighten up to like a level 10. So we're doing the roots first to enable it to lighten. And then after I've done all the roots and all the hairline, I'm then going to apply it to the ends. But I will wait 20 minutes for that, because this colour, as per the manufacturer's instructions on this, it says 30 minutes. So I'm going to leave it for 20 minutes, then apply the remaining colour just for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to wash it all off with 2 shampoos and conditioner. So this is what I mean where it's quite hard doing shorter hair, because normally I work horizontally, but actually this back bit is so short I can't work horizontally, so I'm working vertically. So vertical panels on that bottom bit, just because there's no hair to lift up. There's no blonde in it either, so I'm actually colouring all of the hair where there's no blonde. So all that is covered. I'm going to repeat what I just did on the back section, the other side. So what I did to the right, I'm going to do to the left. Be generous with your colour. Obviously, if you've got really thick hair, you'll have to apply an awful lot more. And if you're doing a full head of colour, sometimes you have to buy 2 boxes, because 1 box is not enough. So I'm going to leave you to carry on watching this, and I'll carry on talking in a bit. So this is your regrowth tint application. So I've just finished doing the regrowth tint. All the roots are covered. I'm just going to use the back of my comb there just to lift up the hair, because the hair actually needs oxygen to start developing. If you keep smoothing it down, you'll end up maybe with areas which are a bit patchy because they didn't develop as well. So I'm just separating the hair, making sure that it is breathing. So it's just lifting it off the scalp. Sometimes tying it in a bun or tying it in a knot, it doesn't colour very well on the inside of the hair. So I've allowed the roots to develop for 20 minutes. Now what I've got is I'm just going to colour the tips. So I'm not going to leave this on for long, just 10 minutes, and then I'm going to wash it off. Yes, I should be wearing gloves. You are correct. But I'm just going to put it on really quickly and then wash my hands. It's a light colour, so I know they're not going to stain. But if you have got any cuts on your fingers, it will start to sting. So it doesn't matter now if I do get it on the roots, but ideally I'm just putting it on the mid-lengths and ends until it's all covered. I'm going to let it wait for 10 minutes and then I'm going to wash it all off. The hair's so short, I haven't used the whole bottle, but I've tried to use as much as what I can. Now we're back in with the haircut. Now the client actually wants it really, really short, so she's going to have it cut on top and around the sides, but the back bit we're going to clip a cut. So if you're doing your level 3 hairdressing, clip a cut is a requirement for that. So this is a short graduation. It's going to be short, gradually getting long. This client actually wants the hair cut over the ears so that you can see the ear in full. So I'm just going to work with the natural hairline there. So I'm going to get as close as what I can to where the hair grows and just follow the head round, moving the client's ear out of the way. It'd be great if we could take the ears off, but we can't. So we've just got to kind of hold it down gently. And then I'm going to pull out vertical sections. And then using the guideline at the bottom of my fingers, I'm then going to cut the hair 90 degrees up. I might have a little angle on it actually, so it's a little bit shorter. So maybe it's not 90 degrees, maybe it's a little bit pulled out. So it's short, gradually getting longer. I'm just going to cross-check it now using scissor over comb. Yeah, pulling it slightly out further as I get higher. So that is at an angle there. Comb it down, double check what you do. Just going to carry on going a little bit further round. Following the guidelines that I've previously cut. And it's just kind of, it's a lot easier when somebody's got a similar haircut. You can learn by following what the previous hairdresser did. So I'm just going to go round to the centre of the head. Now what I'm going to do on the other side is just copy exactly what I did that side. So whatever I did the other side, I'm going to copy and take it all round to the centre of the head as well. I'm just going to balance check now, make sure that it's okay left and right. Cross check some areas around the back, pulling it out 90 degrees. At the top, I've only cut that top section there. So I just want to make sure that there's no little bits that I've missed. No little corners. It's okay to go back over it. And it's okay to balance check. That's what you're there to do. So the next bit that I want to do will be the bottom section. So I'm just going to put on the shoulder. What is it called? Not a shoulder cape. And I'm just drying off the bottom bit. I prefer to do it dry with the clippers, because sometimes the clippers can actually take off a little bit too much hair. When it's wet, it all sticks together and you don't really get to see your graduation either as well. So it's just the bottom bit I've just dried off, nothing else. And I'm going to get out my clippers. My clipper guard will be a number 3. So that is a number 3 on the cordless clippers there. I just use the Wow ones. And I'm just taking it as short as what I can. I don't think I'd really go to a number 2 on any female, because it is a little bit too masculine, unless they do want it extra short. So we're just going to take off the bottom bit. I'm not going to go around the sides, it's just that bottom bit there. And making sure that the neck is clean as well. So I've taken off the guard now, and then I'm just clippering the hair, the fluffy hair on the neck, and just cleaning it up a little bit. I don't really want a nice straight line like a masculine haircut. You can soften it a little bit as well. And this is the wide comb that I'm showing you. It's a little bit bigger than a normal comb, but I like using this because it's helpful with scissor over comb, and also clip over comb, to be honest, but I'm just doing scissoring here. So I'm just blending the hair up so it's a little bit shorter. Taking off the excess weight. You could have an overhang if you want. If the client didn't want it blended, you could have a little bit of an overhang, so it's shorter underneath. But I wanted to blend this, and then you can blend it in a little bit better with your thinning scissors. That's what the thinning scissors are there to help you to do, is just blend it in that little bit more. You can do it without, but why? Why, when we've got tools there to help us? So know your thinning scissors as well. These are my thinning scissors. This is one pair of thinning scissors. The serrated blade is kind of close together. I've got another pair of thinning scissors which is quite chunky, so it takes off a lot of hair. You can see from the front section that it's over-directed, so which means it's being pulled back slightly. This is cross-checking now. And I'm just going to take off that corner a little bit. So I'm checking this panel horizontally, but I'm pushing it a little bit closer to the camera, which you might not be able to see from that angle. And this one I'm pulling slightly towards me a bit more, just making it a bit more choppy, adding a bit more texture in there. Now it comes to doing the fringe part of my client. Everyone might want their fringe slightly different, but for this particular client, she starts off short on the right hand side and then gradually gets longer as we come down to the left hand side. So you can see the length is slightly longer here, but I'm really going to take it shorter because she wants a short kind of summer cut really, even though it is January. Just checking the other side, make sure there's no overhangs. Now if I left it like that, it could be quite thick at the front. So I'm using a technique called slicing, which is another level 3 technique to texturise the hair. So comb it in the direction that you're going to cut it, and just with your blade cut down there, and it takes little bits off, similar to the thinning scissors. And then you can, like the blade is quite sharp, so it's actually the blade that's cutting. And then any areas that you feel like is quite thick, you can point cut, you can go in and slice, you can get your thinning scissors out, just go over it, but do little bits at a time, and then you can always take more off them. So I'm even going to take a little bit more off the front now, make it a little bit more dramatic for my client. My client's 83 years of age, so she still likes a trendy look. And I think it doesn't matter on the colour, even if you have grey hair when you're older. As long as you have a really trendy haircut wear like really bright lipstick, big silver earrings, and really jazz up your accessories. It takes 10 years off you. So the colour's not important, it's the cut when you get older. Keep it young and trendy. So the cut's all done now. Gonna go in with the product there, that's Super Sculpt by Paul Mitchell. Gonna put on a little bit of that. I do like Super Sculpt. I'd use it on long hair, short hair. It's got a little bit of hold in it, but it really does work. Yeah, we like the Mohican look as well. You could finger dry this whole look if you wanted to. You could use a bit of a round brush. The short areas, obviously, you need to finger brush because there's no way you can get a round brush in there. You'll see on the client at the back of the head, it looks like she's bald there, but her hair just parts left and right by the crown. It's where she's got like a double crown there. So I'm using number 15 round brush. I don't really want to go smaller because I'm not creating a curl. I'm just trying to create a little bit of lift in the hair as I'm blow drying. Her hair naturally grows forward in that direction. So if you try and blow dry it back, it ends up spiking. So you're best off to go with the natural hair growth of your client. Finger dry areas that you want to. So the shorter areas, I'm just finger drying there. Give it a bit of direction. And in the front bit, I'm going to start using my brush. Start from the front, work my way backwards, clip out the bits of hair that you don't want. And as you can see, I'm just giving it a bit of volume. I don't want curl in her hair, it's too short. And sometimes if you have too much curl in older hair, it does age them a bit. So her hair's poker straight anyway, so she just wants a little bit of volume. Like I say, it does grow forward naturally. You could, if you want, go over it with the straightening irons and give it a little bend and make it a little bit more, give it a little bit more movement as well. So this here is your finished look. As you can see, it's nice and short. A little bit longer on the other side. And now she just needs a little bit of makeup, nice big chunky earrings, and off she goes.